where you have to go primarily through either a Budweiser distributor or a Miller distributor, and you're one of how many products or SKUs in their quiver. And as you grow and people get and you become popular, it's a lot easier to get that in shelf space. But with as many products as are out there, a lot of the newer breweries have opened up, and they're primarily focused on their tasting room. So they want it to be a unique experience. You come in, you sit down, we welcome you. Maybe we have some snacks available, but you'll get to try different kinds of beers, and people will tell you about it, and you can learn about it. And from the brewer's side, the thing that makes that so attractive is you probably make 10 times as much on that keg of beer that if you sold it out the back door to go through the distribution, because you've cut out the middleman. And you'll get people to come back, and they'll buy merchandise. So what might have been just 2 beers or $15 turns into $50. And you can make a hobby into something more worthwhile and do it in a managed way.
And I'm listening and I'm thinking, well, in New York, there's always rent. And I think of our Biscuits and Beer, which is close to where I am, Dale Brew, down the road on Nostrand, and rent is expensive.
Yes.
Rent is high. So it's like, if I go in, I'm good for $20. My husband's good for $20. He, if there was a way for him to just sell me a couple of 6-packs, I think, he'd make more money off of us, because he wouldn't have to outlay for the rent.
Right. But at the same time, when you go in and have that experience, and you get part of the dynamic is you get things at that tasting room that you can't necessarily get in the store.
Right.
So they do a unique beer that has orange juice and it tastes just like a mimosa, and it's really light, and you say, this is wonderful, can I have some of it? And they said, well, we actually have it in cans. Or the other things people do is they'll sell it to you in crowlers, which is like a 32-ounce can, or in a growler, which is a 64-ounce bottle. So you can take it home and enjoy it at the end after you get back.
Wow, so they totally circumvent the traditional distribution because they wouldn't get the shelf space anyway, you're basically saying.
Right. So you have to get to a certain size in terms of how many, and we talk about it in terms of barrels. And a barrel is, for practical purposes, 2 kegs. So when you went to the party at the fraternity or the sorority back in the day, and
there was not me. I didn't do that.
No, there was maybe some Mad Dog 2020 in the background, but we don't know why. Sorry. Bring back memories. It is when they get bigger and bigger, they're able to get distribution, but it's probably over 5,000, 3,000 to 5,000 barrels. A lot of these small ones,
that's a lot.
They're producing 100 barrels or less in a year.
Right. Wow. Well, we got to talk about today's time. The 800-pound gorilla in today's society now is, our dearly departed George Floyd, and how this is all impacting. It's almost like a domino effect to every aspect of business because of, basically how systemic racism has been. Do you think that with this happening, that there's going to be an upsurge in African-American with the craft brewers that are out there, that they might get more opportunity, or it might draw more? What is your take on that?
So I've actually seen a couple things happen in just recent times. So I've seen brewers across a wide swath of the country putting up Black Lives Matter. These are majority brewers as well as minority brewers. I've seen a Black brewer in Texas who's coming out with a tribute beer to George Floyd.
Yeah, Weathered Soul, right?
Right. And then you're seeing people doing collaborations around this. I think it's both a time for our country to wake up to what has been going on, and to say we have to change something. We can't just keep going on and having folks of color knocked off while walking.
Yeah.
Or falling asleep in my car because I had a little too much beer to drink, or
trying to sleep it off before I went home so the wife went.
That's what I was trying to do. I was just sitting in one.
I'm just not going to drunk drive. How about that?
Yeah.
Just
Right.
gonna do a
But that would have been
drive-by.
too easy. That would have been too easy. But without being a downer, I think that the best days are ahead of us.
Yeah.
All of this, this brings back memories of the '60s that I vaguely remember because I
Yeah. No,
try
we
not to be
were.
that old.
Yeah.
Um,
We weren't here for
But
that. We were
we
here
might
for
have been
the
babies.
80s.
yeah. So part of this is that you're trying to figure out how do we work together,
Mm-hmm.
and seeing the outpouring of community of all shades, colors, races, creeds,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
it makes a difference, and it feels like it's different. It feels like when back in 2014, when you had the choking death um, here in the city, and there was all this outreach, but it was only some Black folks,
Right. That
and
was
we
the
didn't have to.
graffiti writer, right? It was a graffiti
No,
writer.
no, that was Eric Garner,
Eric
with
But there was even one before Eric Gardner. It
right.
was.
We can
I know.
name
I
one
know.
year. We can go back. Well, what about, remember
Historically,
that one?
yeah.
Remember? Yeah, there's so
Yeah,
many.
but it feels to me like it's different. It feels to me like we're at least trying to get to the right spot. Now, the
Mhm.
challenge is with the way the political system is.
Right.
There's awful lot of tiptoeing and not that jump to bold action. And this requires more revolutionary action than evolutionary action.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think rhetoric is not going to be accepted by this generation, because they'll say, okay, you said it, so what are you going to do? So it'll be interesting, with just really the interaction or the help that comes with these craft brew makers and to see what type of, if that collaboration is going to go to the next level. That's what I'm interested in finding out. Will it have a groundswell result in getting them, getting the product out there? Because I think now people are hungry. They want Black owned. They want
Yeah.
Black owned. I'm seeing it everywhere on social media.
But I also think people are not going to just accept lip service.
No.
People aren't going to say, oh, you hung a Black Lives Matter. Now it's kind of, how many people work at your brewery? How many of them are master blenders? How many of them, how many of them have these higher positions? And, there are some, we were talking about one earlier in the year, they just look ridiculous. And they're still going to look ridiculous from, their practices.
Absolutely. So yeah, it'll be interesting. Like, we saw what what's happening now with Fresh Fest. Now that's just with COVID affecting, the whole, state of the union. Everything is now being pivoted to virtual. Do you think it'll be, what are they calling it now? The Fresh Fest DigiFest?
Yeah.
Laura's been wanting me to go. See, and I was actually going to go, and then COVID happened.
So I think this is one of those experiential kind of things, going to the brewery and getting the beer.
I know.
So
I know. I'm gonna miss out on that.
virtual things, it keeps you connected, just like the show keeps you connected with your audience and lets them really understand what's up and about.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, people will start, as you're seeing, going out and I'll hang out outside, but want to be in an arena that has 20,000 people right next to each other. I don't foresee that kind of experience of most of our folks anytime in the immediate future. But I think as you get to the fall and it gets colder and people naturally go inside, to the extent that COVID doesn't have another second big rebound, and that's yet to be seen, you'll see people venturing back and wanting to be able to have this experience again.
Well, we don't want to go before we don't allow you the opportunity to show your merchandise, because Father's Day, right?
It's
coming
up.
Oh,
So,
okay, look, move forward, Kurt. Occupation Fermentation. Oh,
can you see it?
we can see it. I can see it. Oh, there it is. Guys, Father's Day is coming up. Go on Amazon and purchase you a copy of this.
Mm-hmm.
For your good old dad. You think your husband might like that, Laura?
I think he would. But and like Curtis started with, don't spend $30,000, don't spend $300,000 before you spend 30 to see if it's, if you can.
If this is the right thing for you. That was the whole.
Right. Let's see what else is there. What else can we get for good old dad or the significant other?
All right. So we also do some merchandise. So we do things like this.
Here we go. I'm a craft beer. Read what it says. I'm a craft beer lover And I can't read the rest of that because my eyeglasses will not allow.
It says, "What's your superpower?"
Say it again.
What's your superpower?
Oh, okay.
No superpower. Look.
So we have a store called Kendall's Corner, and it has all kinds of Father's Day items in there that you could go in and find. You can get to it through Facebook, and it's, you know, I'm a grumpy grandpa, love cat dad lover, dog dad lover, all kinds, 100% super dad. We got all kinds of fun stuff. So
that is so cool. And then don't we have one more item we can show, the merchandise?
The other item is
which
similar
is my
to
personal favorite. My personal favorite. It's a red and white. It's a red and white
t-shirt.
Okay, and it says I'm a craft beer lover. We only can see part of it, so you're gonna have to make sure we get it. There we go.
There it is.
I'm a craft beer lover. What's your superpower? All right, you know, dads would love that.
Yeah.
I know.
So
I'm not a craft beer lover, but I think I would love that part. What's your superpower?
Yeah, that's the idea. Yeah, merchandise to make it fun for everybody.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, if anyone's out there still trying to figure out what to do for Father's Day, what's your website again?
So you can go to Kendall's Corner on Facebook.
Oh,
KENDALLS Corner, KORNER.
all right.
Okay.
That's fantastic. And for our dedicated followers, all 49 of you, and we want to make that grow, we are going to do a special offering. We're going to raffle off for a lucky person a copy of Occupation Fermentation. We're going to try to get Curtis to autograph it.
And I will.
You know, but you got to work for it. Tell them, Laura, what do we have to do to get this book?
This is going to be a beer takeover. So you need to watch all of the videos that we have on YouTube. You need to comment on all of the videos, even if you just say, hey, I looked at it. That's a comment.
Right.
On all of the videos. And you need to subscribe to our channel. Every time, subscribe. Oh, and the alarm, hit the bell.
Oh, yeah, hit that notification bell.
Notification, right.
Each time you comment on each of the videos, it'll be 3 of them, will be each is an entry. So remember that.
So the more times you comment, the more entries, the better your chances are of winning.
Right. So the most you can get is 3. So comment on each of the videos. There'll be 3 with this beer takeover with Mr. Kurt Battles and ourselves. And what we're going to do is wrap this up. We've given you enough information. You know what you got to do. Get your hobby out of the garage and make it a business and get it with Occupation Fermentation. So until next time, everyone, this is Urban Booze.
Exploring what's good. Sip by sip.
Bye. Okay.